million of the $88 million shelled out by taxpayers.
The I-Team's Katie Davis is breaking down today's settlement with our NBC 10 legal analyst. Katie?
Patrice, Kurt Schilling says he wants to talk directly to Rhode Island taxpayers about 38 Studios, but not just yet. That's because he may still have to testify if the one remaining defendant in the case goes to trial. More money for Rhode Island taxpayers. A $2.5 million deal with 38 Studios founder Kurt Schilling and 3 of his top execs. The money coming from the last chunk of a $10 million company insurance policy, not from Schilling's personal assets.
There wasn't much left, and you take what you can get.
NBC 10 legal analyst Mark Dana says the settlement is more than the state could have recouped at trial.
Whether those assets were put somewhere else, which is perfectly legal, we don't know, but we do know that an asset check was done and it did not exceed the $2.5 million.
Schilling took to Twitter saying he wants to talk directly to Rhode Islanders when the time is right, but he also confirmed he could be called as a witness. The last defendant, financial advisor First Southwest, hasn't reached a deal yet.
All of these people that have been released are subject to going in and having to testify.
Any of the people who were part of the deal?
Absolutely.
Dana says it may be in the best interest of First Southwest to settle rather than roll the dice with a jury of Rhode Island taxpayers.
They're the lone defendants. A jury is not going to be kind to this entity that really was the entity that controlled what the state should do. They were the financial advisors.
The mediator in the complex case telling reporters he believes negotiations have been successful.
No one is going to be perfectly satisfied with this, but I do think that the efforts that have been put forward so far by all of the parties to reach this monetary amount has been very, very good for the people of the state of Rhode Island.
Dana agrees.
And when the case started, many people didn't think the state would get a dollar back.
Right. The fact that they got 50 cents on the dollar is amazing, and taxpayers should be very happy about that.
And Judge Derrigan, the mediator in the case, says he wants to restart those talks with First Southwest as soon as possible, but if no deal is reached, a trial date is set for next month. Live in the studio, I'm I-Team reporter Katie Davis, NBC 10 News.
Katie, thank you. Right now at 6, a search is on for a couple of boaters. The mother and son left for a fishing trip to Block Island over the weekend, but when they didn't return last night, the Coast Guard was called in.
Now, they were on a 32-foot aluminum boat.
And tonight we have new details about the boaters. NBC 10's Jared Pelletier is live in Wakefield tonight. Jared?
Yeah, I just recently was able to speak with a man on the phone who identifies himself as the roommate of the woman who is currently missing at sea by all accounts. He says that it was common for her and her son to leave on trips like these overnight to go fishing. Obviously, that person is concerned, along with other friends, the fact that nobody has heard of them. Now, I want you to take a good look at your screen right here. This is a look at that 32-foot aluminum boat. This picture provided by the Coast Guard. Officials say this is a center console boat. The Coast Guard says 54-year-old Linda Carmen from Connecticut and her 22-year-old son Nathan left Ram Point Marina in Wakefield on this boat Saturday for that fishing trip. Now, last night, the Coast Guard started searching using a helicopter, plane, and a rescue boat in order to try and find them in areas including Point Judith and Block Island. We're told today most of the search efforts were using a Coast Guard cutter and a rescue boat because of the weather conditions outside. Now, did speak with several people in this marina who actually say that they recognize that boat being docked here, and right now they're all hoping for a positive outcome.
It's very frightening to think that that would happen.
It's kind of unbelievable because this is such a peaceful place, and if they've gone out and no one's heard from them, you think the worst. Hopefully for them and their family, it'll end happily.
The man I spoke with, who identifies himself as Linda Carmen's roommate, says he hasn't heard from her since later in the evening on Saturday. Again, another reason why he's concerned. The Coast Guard says tonight at this hour, this is still considered an active rescue mission. We're live in Wakefield tonight. Jared Pelletier, NBC 10 News. Back to you.
Jared, thanks. All right, look at the map there. That weather that moved through today, the rough weather certainly made that Coast Guard search a little tougher. This is the latest temperatures, which means that we'll be going over to Mark Searles.
Yeah, sometimes it can be very tough out there on Rhode Island Sound.
You know, I think obviously the visibility of the fog had rolled in, probably tough to do aerials, and they were searching by sea is what it sounded like in Jared's story, because of course that weather did roll in. Getting that rainfall today that was beneficial. Mondays and rain, usually not a good combination, but I think we're all rejoicing and actually seeing some of that action. Those are the rain totals. Heaviest along the southern parts of our area, Block Island, about 1.5 inches of rainfall today. Had reports from Coventry at about 1.5 inches, Westerly 1.25 inches, New Bedford 0.8 of an inch of rainfall, but Fairhaven had a spotter report 1.5 inches of rain, so it was a little bit hit or miss down across parts of our coastline. The theme, however, was northern Rhode Island and northern Bristol County. Those are the most drought-stressed areas. Unfortunately, those are the areas which received the least amount of rainfall locally. Not much heavy rain to get through here this evening. We still have some showers, as you can see, plenty of clouds, and the humidity remains high. The clouds and the humidity will stay locked in into the morning, Patrice and Jean, before that secondary area you see off, I just circled there off to the northwest. Those showers will weaken, but that cold front will come through tomorrow, and that will drop the humidity levels. So we have a lot to talk about. Some warm temperatures for the last couple of days of summer. The arrival of fall. I'll let you know if there's fall temperatures to go with that in just a little bit, Gene.
Mark, thanks. Get a fresh forecast anytime. Just download the NBC 10 News app.
New developments after an arrest is made in the bombings in New York City and New Jersey. Ahmad Khan Rahami was shot in an exchange of gunfire with police in New Jersey before being taken into custody. Police say Rahami is the man responsible for the explosions in New York and New Jersey over the weekend. Here's what we know tonight. Officials are saying that no other suspects are being held or